Can you take the championship from DNZ? This year, you can play our football pick'em on CBS Sports and compete against us in the option every week. Check the link in our Instagram bio, Fade Route Podcast, for all the details and to sign up. Then tune into the Fade Route every week until the Super Bowl for updates and standings. Bring it on.
It's Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. Here are your hosts, D and Z. Welcome everybody to Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. I am Z, and here's how it goes. D and I give you our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy starts or green lights, and our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy sits or red lights. We're going to start with our green lights first. Who are your green lights this week, D?
All right, so first up, I've got Derrick Henry against the Colts. Maybe it's just wishful thinking because he's on my fantasy team now, but without Shaq Leonard in there, I'm seeing/hoping for another 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. Number 2, I have Olave versus the Lions. If he plays, I think the Saints finally figured out they can't dink and dunk their way with Kamara all day long. They need to throw the ball to Chris Olave in the red zone. And number 3, I've got Wilson versus the Texans. That's right, Russ Wilson against the Texans. Russ is playing well. I'm not ashamed to admit when I was wrong, but it's all about him this year. He showed up. He's playing very well. I would feel confident in playing him on Sunday. Z.
Great choices. All really good choices. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to start with Jahmyr Gibbs against the Saints. They've been moving the ball better with the running game, and I think Jahmyr Gibbs is due for that breakout game. And that's really going to solidify him as a top-tier running back in the NFL. Number 2, Gardner Minshew against the Titans. Crazy enough, Minshew Magic is back. It took a little hiatus, but I think that he's good for at least a little while. And frankly, they're one of the more surprising teams in the NFL. And that's all because of Gardner Minshew. And then number 3, this may seem like a trite pick, but I'm going to go with the Buccaneers defense against the Panthers. Plain and simple. That team is absolutely terrible. But those are our green lights. Who are your red lights, D?
All right, first up, I've got Jordan Love against the Chiefs. He's been so up and down this year. I think this will be a down week for him. I'd stay away from Jordan Love if you can. Number 2, I've got James Conner going against the Steelers, his former team. If you need to start James Conner this week, odds are your season's over anyway. So sorry about that. And number 3 might surprise you, but it's Bijan Robinson. The Jets do play good defense. You combine that with Art Smith's inability to use Bijan correctly, you get garbage, basura. So I would stay away from Bijan.
That's fair. Bijan Robinson is in and out of the doghouse. I don't know what the hell's going on there, to be honest with you. For me, pretty much any Patriots skill position player, like how can you trust what they're doing? You can't. Like, who's the quarterback? Is it Zappy? Is it Jones? How does that affect Ramondre Stevenson?
I love that his name is Zappy. It just makes it so much better. I don't know if we're going to start Mac Jones or Zappy this weekend. What the hell are you talking about, Bill?
It sounds like some 1920s. 1920s, like Gas House Gang type shit. Man, we're going to have Mac, we're going to have Zappy. Which one we're going to have? Zappy or Mac? Man. So, you can't trust anyone. Again, they're playing the Chargers, but you can't really trust the Chargers either. But any Patriots skill position player, kindly take a seat. Kindly take a seat on the bench. I'm going to go for my second one, Hollywood Brown against the Steelers. Steelers play good defense. The Cardinals aren't. I don't see Hollywood Brown having a great game, especially if especially if Kyler Murray's got to be running for his life like he's wont to do. And I gotta say, I would sit Brock Purdy against the Eagles.
Ooh.
That's going to be a tough one. They're going to be coming. The Eagles have something to prove. They have something to prove as much as the Niners have something to prove. The Eagles need to prove that they can do this, and it's not because Brock Purdy got hurt that they went to the Super Bowl, that they actually are a legit team. And they're going to be coming after Brock Purdy. They're going to be forcing him into turnovers, and I think he's going to get a couple. I think they're going to get him for a couple. But Kyle Shanahan is going to scheme, there's that word again, he's going to scheme a victory over the Eagles, despite Purdy's bad day. Those are our red lights. Those are our green lights. What are yours? Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG @FadeRoute Podcast. Drop us a line on X @FadeRouteDNZ. It's time for us to run the road route again. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you like what you heard and want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Rate us 5 stars, leave us a review, turn on subscription notifications, and tell your friends. Spread the word, spread it wide.